Hey, what's up, guys? So, in this tutorial, we're going to go ahead and actually, if you've been following along, the last tutorial, I broke our project. And we broke it because we changed our database schema. And because we're doing code first and we're not actually changing the database, what we have to do is the Entity Framework is really cool. It has this code first migration. And basically, what that is and this is not just for data annotation, but in the future and actually in other videos, we're probably going to change some of this. We're going to add some more properties to this class. We're gonna do some other stuff to it, and we're going to have to change the database model to support that. And how we do that in ASP.NET MVC is we do that with by enabling migration. So if we go up here to our tools and we go to NuGet Package Manager and we go to Package Manager Console right here. So tools, NuGet Package Manager Console. It might be different in Visual Studio 2012 or even 2010. I forget, but if you search around, you'll find the Package Manager Console. And it's the same command, so you won't have to worry about that. So once we open up the console, we'll see down here, and I'll go ahead and I'll make this a little bit easier to see. If you see down here, we have our Packet Manager console, and all we're going to do is we're just going to enable migration, okay? And then we'll also probably, right here it's going to tell us probably that we're going to need to pick which database we want to migrate. So if we see here, it's more than one contact was found, blah, 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 blah. To enable migrations for application DB context, use enable migrations context name. So what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to use enable for this right here for our video context class. We're not going to need it. We could enable it too for our, if you see here, we have in our controllers, or actually in our model, we'll see that we have the video, which is what we've been using, and then these manager view models and this identity model and account view models. That's all just baked in entity frame or baked in ASP.NET MVC stuff. And we're not going to change that. We're not going to create like custom user classes, so we're not going to really need to enable migrations on that. We're just going to need to enable migrations on our video class. I just went ahead and copied it right here, which is enable migration content type name. And let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. And now it's working its thing. And if you'll see now, we now have a new migrations folder. And what this is going to do is this is going to keep track of every time we open up or we change our database. This is just going to keep track of it. And we can fall back and use older models if we decide we don't like what it is that we did to the database. So after that, we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to say add migration, and we're just going to name this data changed. Not very good. Not a very good name at all. You should probably name it a lot differently. So okay, after we enabled the migrations, we just added it. So now we've changed it. If we see here, we have this new data change.cs, and we see here that this is the columns that we altered right here. And we can go up and down. So if we decide that we don't like this, we can go ahead and we can remove back, and it's okay. It doesn't matter. We can go back to older one. We can go back to an older one. So now the last thing we have to do is just update database. And there we go. Now when we go back and we run, and go ahead and make that a little bit smaller. Now when we go back, close this migrations, and we go back to our views, and we go to our admin views, and when we run this, we're going to see that the database now works again. And this will also be able to test the data annotation that we did last time. So now it works again. So if we go to create name, and I'm just going to try to push it in. Boom. Enter a name, enter a description, enter a URL. Now I'm going to do another thing that's pretty cool. I talked about this before, and I'm going to go ahead and I just turned off JavaScript in my browser. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh it. And actually, I'll just reload the page too. Okay, so now there's no JavaScript. JavaScript is not running in this browser. And I'm going to try to pass it in. and see it actually reloaded the whole page, and it's passing this back. Now when JavaScript is enabled in my browser, if I could turn it back on. There. I don't really like this plugin very much. It only wants to. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to JavaScript is now turned back on, and actually I'm just going to create a whole new page, and we'll see here if I paste it in. I'm just going to try to push it in. Oh, it fell back anyways. But normally it'll go ahead and it'll just validate on the client side. This time it actually did submit it and it returned back. I didn't think it did that though, so I could be smoking crack here. That's entirely possible too. But anyways, yeah. So that's it. Code first migration, and we also verified that the data annotations we added to the database are in fact now working. So thanks.